My lake cabin has been in my family for more than 30 years. It's where my son learned to fish and where we spend every summer together. For us, it isn't just property. It's part of our family's history. Life at the lake had always been peaceful. That changed the day our neighborhood, HOA, got a new president. She believed HOA rules should apply to absolutely everything, even privately owned vacation properties. One afternoon, Karen arrived at my cabin uninvited. She introduced her teenage son and explained that he loved my lakefront property. Then she made an unbelievable request. She wanted me to give him the cabin. Karen claimed her son deserved to grow up enjoying the lake lifestyle. She insisted I should donate the cabin to their family. She even called it the neighborly thing to do. I honestly thought she was joking. I respectfully declined her request. The cabin wasn't for sale, and I certainly wasn't giving it away. Karen did not take my answer well. Over the following weeks, the HOA began issuing violation notices. Apparently, my cabin violated newly proposed HOA aesthetic standards. The timing was impossible to ignore. Something felt personal. The HOA board announced plans to regulate lakefront properties throughout the neighborhood. Several residents immediately objected. My cabin wasn't even located within HOA control property. That small detail didn't stop Karen from trying. I decided to review my property's legal records. What I discovered completely changed the situation. My property boundaries included a small strip of land surrounding the HOA headquarters parking lot. That detail would soon become very important. I hired a licensed county surveyor to verify the property lines. The survey confirmed everything shown on the county records. The HOA headquarters said entirely accessible through land I legally owned. Karen had no idea what was coming next. After consulting with my attorney and obtaining all necessary approvals, I made a decision. If Karen wanted to play property games, we were going to follow property law very carefully and very legally. The following Monday morning, construction officially began. Every permit had been approved by the county. Every property line had been professionally surveyed. Everything was completely legal. Karen arrived at the HOA office and immediately demanded that construction stop. She claimed I couldn't block access to HOA property. Then I handed her a copy of the county survey. Her expression changed instantly. The county surveyors explained the situation in detail. The HOA headquarters building wasn't on my land, but the surrounding access easement legally belonged to me. The HOA had simply never checked the records. Several board members couldn't believe what they were reading. The property records had been publicly available for decades. Ironically, the HOA had spent years telling residents to respect property boundaries. Now they were learning that lesson themselves. Word spread quickly throughout the neighborhood. Residents began stopping by just to watch the construction. Some even brought lawn chairs and coffee. The HOA's reputation was quickly becoming the community's favorite conversation topic. Karen attempted to issue new HOA violations against me. County officials politely reminded her that private property rights are protected by law. There was absolutely nothing unlawful about my fence. The permits spoke for themselves. My attorney reviewed every legal document once again. He confirmed that I had fully complied with local property regulations. Everything had been done properly and transparently. The HOA had no legal grounds to challenge the project. Even Karen's son appeared embarrassed by the controversy. He quietly admitted that he never asked anyone to take my lake cabin. He simply thought it was a beautiful place to visit. The real problem had never been him. Meanwhile, I spent my mornings relaxing beside my lake. There was something satisfying about watching property law work exactly as intended. Sometimes, patience is far more effective than anger, especially when the facts are on your side. County commissioners requested an official review of HOA governance practices. Residents wanted greater transparency moving forward. Many felt HOA leadership had overstepped its authority. Change was finally coming. Several HOA board members chose to resign from their leadership positions. They acknowledged that mistakes had been made. The community deserved responsible representation. Accountability had finally arrived. Residents began working together to improve HOA policies. Property rights became one of the neighborhood's highest priorities. People wanted cooperation, not unnecessary conflict. The entire community learned something valuable. County officials officially confirmed that the fencing project complied with all applicable regulations. Every legal requirement had been satisfied. The project would continue without interruption. The matter was finally settled. That evening, I walked down to my dock and reflected on everything that had happened. My cabin remained exactly where it belonged. Safe, private, and protected by the law. Karen wanted my lake cabin for her son. Instead, she learned one of the most important lessons about property ownership. You can write HOA rules, but you can't rewrite county property records. And my legal victory was only just beginning. Within a few days, the fencing project was finally complete. Every fence post stood exactly where county records said it should. The HOA headquarters remained untouched. Only the legal access rights had changed. Residents overwhelmingly supported major HOA reforms. New policies were introduced to ensure that private property rights would always be respected. The days of arbitrary HOA decisions were officially coming to an end. The community was finally moving forward together. County officials praised a peaceful and lawful resolution of the dispute. They emphasized that property ownership must always be verified through legal records. This entire situation became an important lesson for the community. Facts matter. Karen eventually stepped down from her leadership role. After a month of conflict, she realized that HOA authority has legal limits. Private property is not something that can simply be claimed because someone wants it. The neighborhood was ready for a fresh start. Ironically, Karen's son turned out to be a respectful young man. After everything had settled down, I invited him to spend an afternoon fishing at the lake. He thanked me and apologized for the misunderstanding.